Good morning, students. Today we will be studying about the skeleton. In the previous class already we have seen about the axial skeleton. Today we will see about the appendicular skeleton. In appendicular skeleton comes the bones of limbs. Bones of limbs. We will first see here the upper arm, a long bone, single bone known as humerus. And the lower arm, you can see the two bones here present, which is facing the thumb, that is radius, and the other one is ulna. So these are two in number. And next here you can see the carpel, which contain the 8 bones, and the metacarpal, that contain the 5 bones, and phalanges, that is fingers. Thumb is having 2 bones, other 4 fingers are having 3. So all together it is having the 14 bones. So now you count how many bones are there all together. Here 1, this is 2, this is 8, here all together, and then metacarpal 5, and here 14. All together it becomes 30. Similarly, the bones of hind limbs. Here you can see the thigh bone, femur, and it's a long bone and very strong. Next you can see here the bones of lower limb, that is, this is tibia and the other one is fibula. Here clearly you can see the front one is tibia and the other one is fibula, 2 bones. Then here you can see the tarsal. Tarsal is having the 7 bone. Metatarsal, that is having the 5 bones, and the phalanges similar to the upper arm, that is 14. And a additional bone you can see here, kneecap, that is known as patella. So this also together forms the 30 bones. So these are the bones of limbs, forelimbs and hind limbs. All together it becomes 60. Next we will see about the girdles. Girdles. Girdles are the part of skeleton which help to articulate the limb bones to the main axial skeleton. There are 2 types of girdle, shoulder girdle and the hip girdle. This is shoulder girdle or pectoral girdle, and this is hip girdle. Shoulder girdle consists of 2 flat triangular scapula. 2 flat triangular scapula. Here also you can see the scapula is drawn here. 2 flat triangular scapula. Here, which lie dorsally on upper ribs on either side of backbone. It is lying on the upper ribs dorsally on either side of backbone in the pectoral girdle. Its outer apex bears a large, somewhat cup-shaped glenoid cavity. It is having the large cup-shaped glenoid cavity. Here it is shown there, the glenoid cavity here shown, to which upper part of humerus bowl-like structure fit in this. Here you can see this humerus having the bowl-like structure head which fits in the glenoid cavity. And close to this, there is a raised part here raised part here, that is for attachment of collar bone. Collar bone. Collar bone, you can see one end of the collar bone, this is collar bone, is attached to the sternum and other end is attached to the raised part of the scapula here. And next we will see about the hip girdle. Here you can see the hip girdle, trap shaped bone, two trap shaped bone medially attached to the sacrum here, and it consists of three parts, that is ilium, ischium and pubis. Ilium, ischium and pubis, and it gives support to the abdominal organ. And this also is having a cup shaped large cavity here, to which the femur bone head is attached there. That is known as acetabulum. The name of the cavity is acetabulum. Next we will see about the joints. There are three types of joints: immovable, partially movable and freely movable. Immovable joint, in this type of joint no movement is possible, means the bones are permanently fixed. Skull bones, they are, joint of the skull bone is known as suture. They are permanently fixed, that is not movable. Next is partially movable. Here only very little movement occurs between the two bones. The joint between ribs, and the breastbone, or between the vertebrae, or joint between the ribs. Very little movement takes place, that's why it is known as partially movable joint. Freely movable joint. In this type, varying degree of movement are possible between the two joints. The four major types of movable joints are given here. That is, first, gliding joint. It occurs between the bones of the wrist and also between the bones of ankle. Here you can see the ankle, between the wrist and ankle. Next, pivot joint. Here one bone is rotated over pivot-like end of another bone. Skull rotated on the upper vertebrae. Skull rotates on the upper vertebrae, that is axis. And next is hinge joint. Hinge joint, which moves only in one plane, like hinge of door. It can be opened in only one side. Or take a best example, elbow joint. Elbow joint, it moves only in one plane. If you try to move in other way, it may break. And next we will see about the ball and socket joint. Ball and socket joint. Here one end of a bone which is rounded and ball-like fits into a cup-like depression of another bone. That already we have seen about the shoulder girdle and the pectoral girdle. Shoulder girdle or pectoral girdle and hip girdle. In shoulder girdle there is a glenoid cavity into which the head of the humerus fit and move in any direction. Same way in the acetabulum, that is a cavity of the hip girdle. Next we will see about the synovial joints. The freely movable joint stated about Stated above, like the shoulder joint, the knee joint are also called synovial joint. Here you can see the knee joint. And here you can see the west here, the knee joint. Two bones are shown here between the knee, and these bones are held in position with the ligament. This bone is held in position with the help of ligament. This prevents the dislocation of these two bones. Between these having the synovial fluid, and that fluid prevent the friction between the two bones, and also help in also prevent the rubbing of two bones. Next we will see about the muscles. The muscles in the body provides the means of all movements. They cover the skeletal framework and also give shape to the body. Muscles help to maintain body posture while sitting, standing and working. Most muscles are long bundles of contractile tissue. Each muscle usually has two ends, a fixed end and a movable end. Here you can see, here you can see a movable end and fixed end. The movable end pulls the other end, that is tendon, which joins to the bone, and it brings in, when it pulls, brings the bone into movable position. Muscles can only contract and relax, they cannot be lengthened. We'll see the next antagonistic muscles. A structure which has been moved by a muscle of another muscle cannot return to its original position without the action of another muscle. Such muscles causing opposing movements are called antagonistic muscles. For example, biceps and triceps muscles. Biceps muscle, you can see upper arm, front part having the bicep muscles, and in the other part, lower arm, not lower arm, behind the upper arm, that is the having the tricep muscles. So, biceps muscles of the upper arm flexes that bends the lower arm over the upper arm. Straightening of the lower arm is brought about by the triceps muscles. Therefore, these two muscles are antagonistic. Kinds of muscles. There are kinds of muscles, that is voluntary muscles, involuntary muscles and cardiac muscles. Voluntary muscles means the muscles which is under our control. Voluntary muscles, when we want to pick up a pen and want to write something, we can do. But involuntary muscle is not in our under control, like heart muscles. Continuously beats, heart muscles continuously work, never get tired, but it is not not under our control. There are nearly 400 muscles in our body. Coordination of muscles. Most action in our body, like standing, working, running, playing, playing tennis, etc. require combined action of several muscles. To a great extent, the muscles have to be coordinated for a particular kind of movement. So dear students, here I complete this lesson. Please go through it, draw the diagram, practice the diagram which I have drawn and given to you, and do the exercise. Thank you.